Welcome back to Bedtime Stories with Eli, and the topic of today's bedtime story is 23F gets nervous to talk about past trauma with 25BF. One more time, 23F gets nervous to talk about past trauma with 25BF. Interesting. So apparently, this 23-year-old woman has been dating a 25-year-old man, and this man has noticed that, she has some major insecurities beyond a normal level of a woman having insecurities. And he's probably been questioning her about this and trying to figure out what's going on and get her to open up and talk about past trauma so they can work through it and have a happy and healthy relationship. But it seems like she's, closing off to allowing him to talk about that with her. And that's a huge red flag there that can severely affect your relationship. And in my opinion, if you're in a situation like that early on in the relationship, and you notice that about somebody that you're dating, you do want to bring it up as quickly as possible. And if they're not responding to you in a positive way where they're willing to allow you to help them work through it, then you got to just let them go, because it's just going to create more issues down the road that you're not going to want to deal with. It's not going to be fun. So let's get to this Reddit posting here and see what this guy wrote. The original poster posted this in the subreddit Relationships, and the title was I, 23F, get nervous. So it's a woman actually that wrote this. I, 23F, get nervous to talk about, and something just pops up on my screen as I'm recording this, but I'm good now. I, 23F, get nervous to talk about past trauma with BF 25M. In fear, I am making myself a victim and weaponizing it or using my trauma as an excuse. It sounds like to me that this woman has been in some abusive relationships in the past, and she's used to being around guys like that, and guys responding to her in a bad way about this. So she's assuming that this guy, who's a good guy and really wants to talk about this because he truly cares about her, he's assuming that this good guy is going to be just like the rest of the guys because that's all she's used to experiencing when she talks about this. This is a very common thing with women, and I even had the same issue initially with the woman I'm with today. But we've talked about it, and the fact that I clearly identified it, and how things were, with her and her, exes in her previous relationships. I told her, look, I'm not like your exes. I care about you, and I want to help you work through these things. And she just wasn't used to it. So let me tell you guys, if you encounter a woman like this, or gals, if you encounter a guy like this, you can actually work through it, and it can turn into something great. As long as you do it early on and the person you're trying to work through it with is open to talking about it. If they're not, then there's nothing you can do. You got to cut your losses and go. Let them go and you go your way. But let's read what she wrote here. Basically, I was stuck in an abusive relationship for 2 years, and it left me with a lot of anxiety around dating, PTSD, and a huge fear of commitment. There's the answer. So it was because of a previous relationship, right? So she's behaving this way because of a previous relationship. And now her new boyfriend is recognizing this about her, is trying to talk with her about it in a respectful way to work through it. And because of how, her ex treated her, with this situation, she doesn't want to lead this guy on that she's with to believe that, she's playing the role of the victim and weaponizing it as an excuse, right? Wow. It was my first relationship, so it really left me with a skewed view of romantic relationships. That happens, right? Sometimes that happens. If you get a bad first relationship as a lady, it typically, is going to carry through until the next relationship, unless a really good, strong guy comes in and is able to help you work through it and is able to be your rock and is able to make you feel so happy and comfortable and trustworthy of him, that it changes your attitude, right? So I get it. I totally get it. Anyway, I guess this guy I'm seeing isn't officially my boyfriend, but he might as well be. Anytime he asks me what we are, I tell him that I'm just nervous to commit and I really want to be sure. Well, it's not his job to ask you where the relationship stands. That is your job as the woman. He's making a mistake there. He's actually putting pressure on you. You see, like I've said before, I'll say it again. You start dating someone, okay, when you first start dating someone as a man, your job is to hang out, have fun, and hook up. Set up a date, hang out with the woman, have fun with her, and hook up. Rock her world in the bedroom, right? You don't need to ask her after a few dates or so, are we boyfriend and girlfriend now? Where do we stand? Blah, blah, blah. You leave that up to her, okay? If she continues to spend time with you, obviously she likes you, right? And you got to give her the time and space necessary to, feel like, she's safe and comfortable to the point where she wants to commit. And when she's ready, she'll tell you, typically around, the 6 to 8 week month, 6 to 8 week, point in the relationship, while you're dating, right? Month and a half to 2 months to 3 months at the most, the woman will come out at that point and say, how do you feel about things between us? I really like what we have, and I want to know, how do you feel about moving forward and making it official, right? She'll let you know when she's ready. It's not your job as the man to do that. When you do that, you're basically putting pressure on her and you're basically asking her to give up her freedom. You need to allow a woman to feel free to choose on her own. She needs to choose you on her own, and she needs to feel free to do that, right? So you don't try to lock down a woman ever. That's the woman's job to try to lock you down. So that's a mistake on his end. I don't want to lose him because that's scary, but I don't want to commit because that's scary too. If I was this guy, number one, I wouldn't be trying to lock this woman down. But I would be talking with her and saying, hey, you seem a little off. Are you okay? What's going on? I think you're an awesome woman. I enjoy spending time with you. But you just seem like a little bit scared, or like something is bothering you. If it's me, please let me know. I'd love to talk about it. And then she might say, no, it's not you. It's just, I'd rather not talk about it. Well, here's the thing. I really want to get to know you. And in order for us to get to know each other, see where this goes, I need to know what's going on. Well, I'm not ready to talk about it. Well, okay, I'll tell you what. If that's the case, no problem. I'm going to take you home. I'm going to drop you off and give you all the time and space you need to think about it. And when you're ready to talk about it, we can talk about it then and see where things go from there. But in the meantime, I don't think it's fair for either one of us to move forward and continue spending time together when there's, something major bothering you that you're not willing to talk about me with. Okay? Or talk about with me, sorry. Okay, he's super understanding and says he just enjoys spending time with me regardless. Well, that's a good guy. He really likes you. He's into you, right? And it sounds like you're into him, but you're so guarded and scared because of your previous relationship that you're not being fair to him, man. That's the problem, okay? He has never made me feel bad about it. I just get super in my own head. Well, that's female nature. That's how women are. Women let everything get to their head because they're emotional beings. So, what are you going to say about that one, right? I feel so bad I can't commit because I do like him. Well, then tell him you like him and start showing him that, and let your guard down, and don't let that loser guy you dated before him get in the way of wanting something with this guy you really like. Come on, ma'am. Jesus, I was gonna say, come on, man, but you're a ma'am. Come on, ma'am. M-A-A-M. God. Oh, man. Let me see here. I can't imagine how confusing this is for him, and it makes me feel terrible. Well, he's 25, you're 23. You folks are young. If this was me, I would understand completely what's going on because I'm 48 and I've experienced all this crap, right? But at 25, I would have no clue myself. So he probably has no clue what's going on, or he may have somewhat of an idea, but, he probably doesn't have the balls yet to, call you out and basically say, hey, look, we either talk about this and sort this out, or maybe now's not the right time for us to be seeing each other. Maybe you just need some time and space to yourself to figure this out. And once you do, if I'm still single at that point, you can reach out to me, see if I'm single. If I am, maybe we can try again at that point, right? I bet if you had the balls to do that, it would force this woman to put her guard down and make a decision. But this guy needs to have the balls to be a man and call her out. He hasn't learned how to do that yet at his age. That's the thing, right? I had a great revelation with my therapist last week about how commitment is hard for me because the only time I've ever committed to a relationship, I ended up being trapped and was threatened every time I tried to leave. Well, that's one guy, man. You're letting one guy destroy your happiness and your dating life. You're letting one guy out of millions and millions of other guys out there get to you, and you're assuming that every other guy could be that way. You say you like this guy, right? And he seems like a good guy. And you're making him pay the price for what your ex did to you. Is that fair, man? Would you want any guy you're seeing to, take things out on you and you pay the price for what his exes did to him? Come on, ma'am. Come on. Jeez. I never thought about it like that, and it made me feel better and not be so hard on myself about this. I feel like I should tell this guy because it could help him understand me better, but I don't want to use it as an excuse. No, you need to tell him because it's exactly what's going on. And you need to talk about it with him, and you both need to work through this, and you either need to let that shit go from the past and move on with him, or tell this guy, hey, look, I'm just not ready for something right now. I'm still working through a traumatic issue in my previous relationship. I need some time and space. Maybe you're willing to give it to me, maybe not, but I need some time. I'll reach out to you when I'm ready. If you're still single, maybe we can try again at that point. That's the way you handle it. But you guys are too young and inexperienced to know how to handle this right. But that would be the best way to handle it. I just don't know how to navigate the situation. I probably shouldn't be dating right now because I need to work past my trauma, but I don't know. You just answered your question, man. I've been saying that all along. Let's read that one more time. I probably shouldn't be dating right now because I need to work past my trauma. Man, that's the best sentence you wrote in the entire long-ass paragraph. Good for you. TLDR, I have a fear of commitment because of being trapped in an abusive relationship for 2 years where I was threatened every time I tried to leave. Want to tell a guy I'm dating about this, but don't want to use it as an excuse or make myself out to be a victim. Don't know where to go from here. Well, ma'am, it's not an excuse. It's the truth. Just be truthful with him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what happened in your past relationship, right? If he's a good guy, he'll listen, and then he'll say, well, I understand what you've been through. I'm not that kind of guy. I really like who you are, and I really want to see where this can go. But if you need some time and space to work through this, I'll give you that time and space. Take all the time you need. Let me know when you're ready to move forward. And if I happen to be single at that time, maybe we can try again. See, and as a guy, when you let her go, if you have to let her go in that situation, okay, you don't put your life on hold. You talk to other women and you put yourself back out in the dating world, okay? Because if you don't, then this woman's going to think that, you're going to sit around and wait for her, and that's not attractive to women, okay? Scarcity creates value. If you're a catch, this woman's not going to let you go, but you got to put her in a position where she has to make a choice, or she may never have another chance with you again. Right? There you go. Anyway, let's read a few comments here before we wrap this up. Maybe you need to reframe what the word commitment means. In this case, it might mean that you and this guy agree and you will not date other people. It doesn't mean you are trapped or can't have autonomy in your own life. I have nothing more to add to that. I agree. I was thinking this more or less. You don't like the titles currently as you are nervous of getting trapped, but are willing and would like to, if true, to be exclusive. Right, she's contradicting herself. She likes this guy and wants to be with him, but she's afraid that any guy she gets with, good, bad, or indifferent, is going to be just like her abusive ex. Right? And that's not a healthy way to live life. Not every guy's like that. She had a bad experience, and now she wants to punish every man that she comes across for it, right? You need permission to get off the ride at any time and want to be actively consenting to continue the relationship. Stress that it doesn't mean he has not proven himself, nor does it mean he needs to do so to continue. You just will be defensive if certain terms are applied. This guy needs to be a man and stand up for himself and call her out and say, listen, babe, I enjoy my company with you. You're beautiful. You're sweet. You're amazing. We have fun together. But you're closed off about certain things that are important to me in a relationship. I'm looking for the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical bond. And if you're not ready to, put in effort into all of that in the way that any two normal people dating would put effort into it, then I'm going to let you go so you can figure it out, right? And take all the time you need. But, if you work through things, feel free to reach out to me. If I happen to be single still at that time, then maybe we can try again, right? And at that point, again, you're going to force her to make a decision because if she does, take time away from you, you might meet another woman that will make you happier than her, and then she'll miss out. So, and the only way for her to have a guarantee that she won't miss out is to snap out of it at that moment, because you basically called her out on it, being a man, and then giving you that chance and putting that guard down. This dude needs to step on in and be a man and basically call her out and show her that that she can trust him in his masculine core, and he's the right dude. He's just not being man enough right now to make her feel safe and overcome, her previous relationship issues that she's projecting onto him. Let's see here. You don't have to even go into details at this point. You can let him know that you're in a space where you're exploring the idea of commitment and that you need to take your time with it. She needs to let the past go, okay? She needs to not hold the past against all future men. This is a good guy that she really likes, and she knows he's a good guy, or she wouldn't even care to talk about this. So she needs to either, move forward, let her guard down, and give the guy a chance, or say, hey, you know what? I thought I was ready, but I'm not. I need some time to sort this all out. So I'm sorry about this. If things change anytime soon, I will let you know. And if you happen to be single, maybe we can try again at that point. That's the mature thing to do. Okay? You can say you understand him wanting to define the relationship and that it will take some time, and that if he's willing, you'd like to continue to see each other. Yeah, but it's not his place to define the relationship. That's the woman's job. The man's job is to take the woman out, hang out, have fun, and hook up. That's it. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Let the woman decide when it's time, if it's time for the relationship to happen. The same thing with my woman I'm with right now. I never talked with her about, the relationship or all the lovey-dovey stuff. She brought that up first. And when she brought it up initially, I was laughing because I'm like, man, that's the way it goes. Like clockwork. Actually, my woman tried to lock me down sooner than most women would. Like, my woman was, I don't know, I'm trying to be humble. She's a good person, but she was trying to lock me down within like the first 2 weeks. Like, even sooner than that. Like, sometimes shit just works, right? But I didn't do anything. I was just being myself. I would take her out. I would hang out, have fun, hook up. That's it. That's all I did. I was just cool to be around, and we have great conversations, and we enjoy the same things. She loves my content and my coaching business and all that. But I never once brought up the relationship or the commitment. That's her job. right? It's not that I don't want it. It's not my place to talk about it. I'm the dude. She's a chick. Let the chick do the chick stuff and the dude do the dude stuff, right? Yeah. If you're monogamous or not wanting to date other people, it might help him to know this too, that you're only focused on this relationship. If you're not willing to only see him, I think personally that you should be clear about that too. True. I don't think this woman wants to date multiple men. I just think she's jaded that any decent man or any man she comes across, good, bad, or indifferent, in spite of what happened in her previous relationship, that every man's going to be like that. So I think she wants to be monogamous with him. She just doesn't trust any man right now. She's still traumatized over her past relationship. And I don't think she even mentioned how long it's been. I think she said it was 2 years ago, or was it a 2-year relationship? Well, how long has it been since that relationship ended? Was it within the last few months, the last year? We don't know. We don't know. It was probably pretty recent. And you can say that you have had a very difficult road with a past relationship and that you'd like to discuss that with him at a different time in the future when you are both on solid footing and feel comfortable. But that for now, you're asking for his trust and patience. See, I wouldn't put up with this. If there's a traumatic issue, right, and it's noticeable at the very beginning, and the woman doesn't want to talk about it, if it was me in that situation, I'd let her go, right? I don't care if something happens on the first date or second date or 10th date. If there's something that's going to affect the relationship, it doesn't matter how soon it is. You need to talk about it. I would call the woman out. And if she's not open to talking about it, then she's not ready to be with a good guy like me. That's the bottom line. So that was not good advice there. That was not good advice. Where you say, and you can say that you have had a very difficult road with a past relationship and that you'd like to discuss that with him at a different time in the future when you both are on solid footing. Well, why would any man want to continue getting to know a woman if, we're unsure if she's on solid footing or not or ever will be, right? We need to talk with her about this and see if she can work through it to see if she's emotionally and mentally stable enough to ever be on solid footing for us to want to get to that point with her. So no, this is bad advice. Bad advice. You are implicitly asking this person not to press you for commitment, and that can be difficult. It's not his job to press for commitment. It's her job. Maybe part of the reason why she's, a little bit traumatized right now still is because he's trying to push the commitment, right? If this guy just backed off and just hung out with her, had fun with her and hooked up and not push her in anything, she may not even be feeling this way. She might be already trying to lock him down. But I think the fact that he's trying to lock her down is making her feel like, this guy's trying to control her like her ex did. You ever thought about that? Come on. Let's see. To remove some stress from him, I might let him know that his feelings matter and that if the slow pace and some vagary of this relationship can't work for him, you understand and respect that. Okay. This way, he gets to know that the lack of stated commitment is on you, but that there's a reason and you understand and respect that his feelings are probably difficult too. That's the best I've got. Hope things work out in the good way for you both. Well, that's the last comment I'm going to read. I'm going to wrap up by saying this. In my life, in between relationships, when I was single and looking, I encountered many women in this situation, right? I've encountered many women in this situation. The woman I'm with right now was in a similar situation from the past, right? She had a lot of trauma and stuff like that. But she was willing to talk about it from the very beginning, and she was open and honest, and we communicated about it, and she didn't shut me out or close me out. Did she get emotional at times? Sure, she's a chick, right? But my lady communicated that with me, and that's what just kept me wanting to come see her. That's what kept me wanting to move forward with her. Had she shut me out and said she didn't want to talk about it, right? I would say, okay, well, best of luck to you. You got some issues. Well, I wouldn't say that to her. In my head, I'd be thinking, like, this chick has issues. She's not willing to talk about them and work through them, so there's nothing here. Okay, I'm going to go find someone that's going to be more open, right? Nobody's perfect. We all have issues. But the people that are in a good place are going to be open to talking about their issues with their partner and working through them, not shutting your partner out. So in this situation, this woman should just take some time away and be by herself and sort through her issues. Either that or put her guard down, tell this guy everything, and say, hey, you know what? I've had issues, I've had trust issues, but you're a good guy. I want to give you the chance. Let's just go for it. Please, just, please, be good to me and don't treat me like those other guys, and we'll have an amazing relationship, right? She just needs to communicate with him, and she's not doing it. She's saying she's not doing it because, she's scared that, she's going to come off like a victim and that this dude's going to walk from her. But no, what's going to tick this guy off more is closing yourself off to him. You open up to him and just tell him everything that's going on and say, hey, can we talk about it? And, I just want to share with you how I feel so I can put this behind me and we can have something amazing. I bet you the guy would be like happy to talk about it with you. And I bet you that would bond you both much more closer together. So that's that. With that being said, it's time to wrap up another one of these bedtime story videos. Another video is coming to this channel soon. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications. Have a great night's sleep. And I'll catch you next time on the flip side. Take care, bye-bye, and be good to each other.